Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the Academy. I'm here at the Nigerian Association of Small and Medium Enterprises second annual SME forum holding here at Sheraton Hotel Ikeja, Lagos. And I'm going to be speaking to entrepreneurs and various business owners on what is currently happening in the business sector in Nigeria and also what we expect to look at within the next 4 years of business in Nigeria. Enjoy.
Ladi Jemi Alade is my name. I'm the chairperson or chairman for Nigerian Association of Small and Medium Enterprises, Lagos State Chapter.
I must say it has been a very interesting program, but why did you put together this program in collaboration with the Republic Media?
Well, Republic Media is one of our partners, and we normally bring in solutions to SME challenges through third party. So we always have programs with partners, and they are one of our partners.
What did you hope to achieve by organizing this?
Well, the solutions we provide to our members is based on 4 tenets. First one is capacity building. Second one is access to finance. The third one is access to markets. And the fourth one is access to technology. This particular program is addressing access to markets because it's about retail and distributive trade.
Now, what do you expect the participants of this program to take away at the end of the day?
A lot, because one of the challenges that small businesses face is how they can access markets. Because, you have to go into production, or if you provide service, you have to offer service. But over time, you find out that it's very, very difficult to access the market for one reason or the other, because the cost of retailing or marketing as such is very, very enormous. Small businesses find it challenging to actually access market because they concentrate on production. But the point is this, is that after producing, if you can't sell it, then the whole thing doesn't have any meaning. So by visiting or participating in such a forum, you are able to know what the solutions are to some of these challenges.
I'm Engineer Tisilokwe Fadikbe.
For you, how has this program been going?
Well, it's been okay, an eye-opener, and I'm able to, actualize my dream. Let me say that.
Okay, but basically on what they've spoken about on distribution and retail trade, what exactly have you picked out for me?
Now, concerning the distribution and retail, I think is the in thing now is the way the e-commerce is going at the moment. So I felt it is the millennium thing that should be done. So I think it's okay.
Now, we know that you are the ex-commissioner for agriculture in Ekiti State, but what exactly the opportunities do you think are available for Nigerians in the agricultural sector?
Let me just say this, that if you begin to look at what is happening now in Nigeria, we're going into a new era in the country, and one of the things that might likely happen is that agriculture will take priority with the falling oil price, and that alone is going to make agriculture to be in the forefront or the next frontier in Nigeria. MSMEs, that's the micro, small and medium enterprises, might likely play well in that particular space. And there are a whole lot of opportunities that exist there. If you look at the value chain, most especially on the processing, agro-processing side of the value chain, a lot of MSMEs will be needed to play there so that Nigeria will begin to, or Nigerians and entrepreneurs will begin to tap into the huge market that exists in that particular space.
My name is Lola Oluwatola, Senior Trade Development Manager, UK Trade and Investment.
Okay, all right. How exactly, with what is happening here today, how exactly do you think sustainable opportunities for SMEs in Nigeria?
Well, today has been a very fantastic event, if I do say that. It's a very good opportunity, or it's a good thing when you see a lot of companies coming together, not necessarily big companies, but small and medium scale enterprises who are looking to do more within the sectors where they operate. The retail sector accounts for a very major part of Nigeria's GDP, and the reason why this is possible is not just because of the very big names that we see, but because of the small man the small girl, the small boy on the streets, the man and the woman who's trying to, do what the little they can do in their different areas. So this is a good opportunity. There's a lot of scope for sustainability in this sector. The organization I work for is called UK Trade and Investment. We help British companies who want to come to our local markets, and local companies that want to internationalize. And we see a lot of big companies in Nigeria who do a lot, but there's scope for small companies to also get to that level. Of course, they have to look at things like branding. They have to look at being able to, make projections about what they're looking to do in the different areas where they operate. They need to be able to develop business plans. You have to think of marketing, and very importantly, having an online presence. All of these small things, seemingly small things, but that do matter at the end of the day. So there's a scope for growth, but we need to look beyond our comfort zone and think, what can I add to what I'm doing at the moment? What will make this more attractive? When I was talking earlier, I was talking about the fact that you can have 10 different people who are doing exactly the same thing. Why would I want to go with you? There has to be a value add. There has to be something different that you're offering me. And those are the things that we need to look at more closely. A lot of small companies complain about the fact that they go to banks and banks don't want to give them loans. But you have to think, what makes me attractive to a bank? When you ask a bank for money, it's not their money. They are keepers of other people's money. And then they have an obligation to these people to say, if I'm lending out money, this person I'm lending out money to, do I trust that this money will be used judiciously? Do I trust that this person knows what they want to do with the money? And that's where we have to start thinking of things like writing a business plan, like writing a financial projection. This is what I want. This is what I want to use it for. This is the output that just being able to do all of those little things. So like I said, I think there's scope for it. I think that we need a lot of more capacity building sessions like what we've had today, just to talk about these issues and find areas where we can address it.
I'm Olushola Baycroft, the CEO for Biz Limited. At Oregon, Ikeja.
All right, now we are looking at the business terrain. What exactly does the business terrain in Nigeria look like right now?
Right now, the business terrain in Nigeria is a bit on the slow side because of the government. When you have a stable government, things will definitely change. With the stress of the election, changing of dates, the uncertainty is so much in the air, and so the business is on the slow side. And so people, even the investors, they couldn't come in to invest because they don't know what's going to happen next. Thank God the election went well. Now we believe things will change.
My name is James Agada. I'm the Chief Technology Officer of Computer Warehouse Group PLC.
Right now, we've been looking at creating sustainable opportunities for SMEs in Nigeria. What exactly are those sustainable opportunities for SMEs?
Like I said during my presentation, there's a lot of opportunities in Nigeria that are sustainable. But if you define sustainable as being the companies or the SME doing business, growing, and staying around for a long time, then the critical things to do are not so much about the business opportunities that exist, as much as how do you organize yourself to be able to take advantage of those business opportunities. So I've tried to point out some of the things we've learned in Computer Warehouse, and we're still learning. Things like you need to do branding, you need to put governance in place, you need to plan, and you need to be transparent, keep proper records, and be able so that when you provide those records to a bank, they're able to give you loans, and also the fact that SMEs need to start using technology to enable them access to the market, to also make their expansion a lot less painful than it would have been if you just had to do everything by brick and mortar.
Yeah, my name is Ozan Bono. I'm the MD CEO of Zobel Integrated Services Limited, an oil and gas company.
All right. Now, looking at the way Nigeria is right now, what exactly can you say about the business terrain currently going on in the country?
Well, right now the business terrain, I would say, is not very good at the moment, probably because of the elections. And because of the drop in oil prices that resulted in little money coming into government coffers, so the government expenditure dwindled, and it affected the economy adversely. So at the moment, I would say the business terrain is not very good at the moment, but I hope that the new incoming government, General Mohamed Buhari, will turn things around, and I hope that the international oil markets will also appreciate.
There's a new administration coming in by the next 1 month.
Yes.
What exactly do you think we should look at in terms of small and medium enterprises, in terms of business in Nigeria within the next 4 years?
Well, the incoming administration, they've been talking a lot about small business. But we have an own agenda which we are going to present to the incoming administration. And we hope that they will partner with us, because there's a lot of grounds to be covered in that sector. Because, I mean, let's face it, if Nigeria is going to develop, we can't get the Chinese to do it for us. We can't get the Koreans or whoever. We have to develop it ourselves. So government must look inwards and look at the potentials of the small business enterprises in Nigeria and help them to grow. And, you'll be amazed what will happen if that can happen. So like rather looking outside of the country, let them look inwards. Because let's face it, what the Chinese can do, we can do it equally. What is stopping us? It seems that the Nigerian person doesn't believe in Nigerian products and want to turn that around. It's a lot of effort, but we believe that government partnering with the small business sector, a lot can be achieved.
It's a bit difficult if the new administration comes in and decides to throw overboard everything the previous administration did. Then it could be a problem for people who have invested their money. But I doubt if they will do that. I would think that they will probably refine the policies, and then once those policies are refined, Nigeria has 170 million people. Even without the oil, it's a big market. And if you see people trooping to China, all businesses running to China, it's because China has a big market, and we have a big market. So if the incoming administration will fast-track some of the initiatives and refine them, there won't be any problem.
On the business side, we need time too, because the government policy, everything will change. And so definitely that will affect the business environment, whether fashion, any spheres of businesses. We have to wait. Things will be picking bit by bit. Even the investors, now that they believe we have another government, everything will change. They too, they will be coming. They will be streaming in bit by bit, but not all at once.
I would say that he needs to fix electricity. Electricity is an integral part of business in this country. You'll be amazed at what Nigerians can do if they had electricity. So he should fix electricity and also fix agriculture, because agriculture is another source of good income for everybody, for both the government and the public and the private sector, the folk in the public and the private sector.
We had what we call policy paralysis under this current administration. They've tried a lot, but there are some disjoints within the operational system, within this structure, which I believe that the incoming administration will put right, or will retweak certain arrangements where the states will begin to drive agricultural implementation of agricultural programs rather than the federal government. Federal government should give the policy, ensure that standards are met, ensure that they incentivize states and the people that are closer, the private sector, to drive or to play within the agricultural sector. Those are the things that you will see change under this current administration. I believe that they will look at that thoroughly and make sure that all the policy paralysis that we had will become, the agriculture will become a priority. And not just become a priority, they will give very strong attention to youth. They should give very strong attention to youth. Let youth be incentivized to play in agriculture.
It has been a very interesting one of the academy this weekend from various entrepreneurs as well as business owners on what exactly they think the business terrain in Nigeria will look like within the next 4 years, as well as what it is now. Well, if you really enjoyed this episode, join us next week, same time on the Academy. Also, don't forget to join us on our social media platform, Facebook and Twitter. Till next week on the Academy. Thank you very much for watching.